Like half the company I work with.
We will call the meeting to order, and I will start with a roll call, and start with Charlotte Ford.
Here?
And Lisa Herm.
Here.
Sorry, Lisa. Tara Malaby Babb.
Here.
We don't have Aaron Louth or Beth McCabe. John Reagan. Here. And we don't have Brooke Webb. We have Tom Garrity online.
Here.
Excellent. And then we have we have Rudy Sukol, Jason Haberman, and not Jason Haberman, Michael Haberman from Gateway Engineers. We do not have Andrew Flynn or Chief Haberman tonight. So with that, I will move to the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is that a motion, Bob?
Yes, so moved. Move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, any comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, Nikki, do we have citizen comments in the room? Okay. So we have no citizen comments in the room, but I see we have three attendees online. I'm gonna just start with the one at the top, and
Doesn't look like anybody has their hand.
oh, if you want to speak and you're online, please raise your hand, and then we will ask you to unmute, or we will allow you to unmute, and you have 5 minutes to comment. So I see Amy B, John Hooper, John N, and Paul Good. If you wish to make public comments, your opportunity is now, but please raise your hand in the meeting. All right. We'll start with Paul Good. You'll be allowed to talk. Paul, go ahead and unmute yourself, state your name and address, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak.
This is 909 Old Hickory Road.
Can you start again, Paul? You got cut off at the beginning.
Oh, okay. My name is Paul Good. I live at 909 Old Hickory Road. I have a concern about the growing proliferation of electric scooters, electric bicycles, and electric motorcycles operated by minors. These are unlicensed, uninsured. I don't know if the police do not have a law to enforce or they don't enforce the law. If these same 10-year-olds were driving a dirt bike, gas powered, I assume there'd be a problem. These kids go back and forth between the street and the sidewalk. They don't have turn signals. They don't have brake lights. I think the township, or the municipality as they're called these days, needs to come up with something to address this before somebody gets hurt.
Thank you for
That's
your
the end.
comment. Anyone else online would you like to make any public comments? Please raise your hand. This is last call. John N, go ahead. Please state your name and address.
I'm John Novoski. I live on 300 Gilkinson Road, 10C, in the condominium.
Okay.
So our neighborhood was talking how the left side is hard to match going from Gilkinson on the road that's Cornerdale? Corners, no. From Gilkinson, we have a bad view because of the trees. They say the trees are under the municipality, so we cannot cut the scrubs and bushes till somebody doesn't come officially. That's all from my side.
What was the intersection? Sorry.
Well, we're on Gilkinson Road, so it's the part coming from the Galleria to the Gilkinson entrance. So that part from the Galleria is, they said, under the municipality, so our neighborhood and the persons who manages their property cannot touch it, they said. So the trees are, and the bushes grown over, so it gives a bad sight when you look on the left side. What street is this one?
Which one? That's Gilkinson.
Yes, Gilkinson, we're right. Yes, on Gilkinson Road. It's Gilkinson with the old Gilkinson Road.
Gilkinson, Old Gilkinson.
The average drive there is about 70 miles per hour, which is exceeding. And everybody's speeding there, so we cannot join. And because this is very dangerous, you have a traffic light that is on corner. So it has to be either with speed bumps or either with warnings, or put a policeman there to actually regulate the traffic, because it's ridiculous what is happening right now. You have next to us the nursing home, so they cannot even join the area, the traffic on Gilkinson.
Mount Lebanon rehabilitation.
Yeah. So that somebody needs to actually investigate that and either put the speed bump, because Average Drive is ridiculous. They're coming from Washington intersection, that area where the Fresh Market is, that traffic light, and it is really ridiculous how much the traffic is impaired. So somebody needs to look into basically bring law enforcement to actually check the speeding, and something has to be done.
Thank you for your comments. I will say that Gilkison is a state road between Cedar and Washington Road. So the state is responsible for any changes there. The municipality is extremely limited.
So what can we do? What's your suggestion? Who to contact?
I would reach out to PennDOT, but they will likely not be responsive. Regarding the trees, is that a MyLebo request, Rudy? Or?
We don't have any municipal trees there. I think are you talking about Timber Creek Apartments?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought, yeah, none of those trees are municipal trees along there.
Oh.
We maintain that drainage area at the intersection of Gilkison and Old Gilkison, where the stream comes under the road. There is an area there where we'll cut back occasionally just to improve visibility, but I think you're talking about the vegetation along.
Correct.
Sorry?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Gilkison.
So that's the property owner.
That or right away of PennDOT.
Or PennDOT, so.
Stand beyond the
So
garden.
what would you suggest? Who to contact?
If you're concerned about speeding, then I'd contact the police department and speak with them, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate the input.
Thank you from my side too.
And just another call for Amy B. or John Hooper. Okay. John Hooper, please state your name and address, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now? I think I was muted.
Yes, we can.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. My name is John Hooper, Hooper. I'm a property owner out there. I don't currently live there. I rent the apartment that I live in and have for the last, 10 years or so. But in the meantime, my son has lived there, my daughter's lived there, and so forth. So I'm very familiar with the property.
Address, John?
300 Gilkison Road. It's in
Okay.
the Timber Creek condo complex. We're actually Unit 7C. And I think I can probably clarify the last caller. The real problem is getting into and out of the entrance to the Timber Creek condos, especially from the left-hand side. There is a problem with, as I said, the trees and the bushes that are along that road. We were told that was actually not Timber Creek property. That was owned by or regulated or controlled by the municipality. And so that's one of the reasons why we were given the information to get in contact with you guys this evening. It probably would be worthwhile for someone to find out who has control over the trees and shrubs, because when you pull out of Timber Creek, especially the cars coming from the left-hand side, because it's sort of a flat, curvy area, cars tend to accelerate. I mean, cars come around there at 50, 60 miles an hour. And because of the curve involved and because of the trees obstructing, you don't really see them until the last second. And they're all of a sudden, there they are. And you're trying to pull out into the road, especially if you're making a left-hand turn. From the right, it's not quite as bad. There's more of an open area. You can see pretty far down the line where cars are coming from. So you have a pretty good judge of what's happening. But from the left, it's total murder. I mean, it's really difficult to get in and out. So I guess the first thing is to find out on our end how we get or control the trees and the bushes that are along Gilkison. That's the first thing. And the second is to, the suggestion was made to put in a speed bump or some kind of a traffic control device to slow the cars down a little bit. I believe the speed limit along there is 35 or 40, and that's a minimum speed. When cars come zipping around there, it's like 45, 50, 55 miles an hour. And like I said, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get killed. So that's the concern that we all have. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you, John, and thank you for clarifying that. That helps. Based on the mapping that I can see, I believe all those trees are in PennDOT's right-of-way. So and some may be on the Timber Creek property, but most of them are PennDOT right-of-way. So regarding that request, I would reach out to them for right-of-way management, where they can trim those trees back. That's something they typically do, but they may not have heard these requests. You can also advocate for them for changes to the road, but those are unlikely to happen in a time frame that you would like. This is me speaking as an advocate and chair of the mobility board. I think you need to be advocating for a road diet on Gilkison. The average daily traffic is well underneath the threshold for what a road diet is, which means that there's a lane reduction and a tightening of the road right of way because the speeds are excessive. So Mount Lebanon is launching an active transportation plan jointly with Dormont. This will go into that, be part of that study most likely, and be identified through that process. But that's where I would start. To reach out to PennDOT, it's 1-800-FIX-ROAD, and that would be a start to reach out to them and make the request for some right-of-way management. All right.
Perhaps reaching out to their state representatives
Yes.
would be
Which
an
is
option as well.
Dan Miller, Representative Miller in that area. Okay. Amy B, you're still online, but I'm going to assume at this point you aren't making public comment, and I believe, do we have someone in the room that came for public comment?
Did you ask?
Or just listening? Okay. All right. With that, I will move to the chairperson's report. Let me get settled back in here. So I just wanted to commend DPW with all that they've been navigating from utility and construction impacts in the community. We are certainly in orange barrel season, and there's a lot going on. And I know Rudy received several emails from me regarding placement of construction signs, and I just wanted to say Dormont's doing worse, based on my review today. But I think it's something we'll talk about through the joint active transportation plan, just because I think many of the workers are just unaware, but there are impacts we hear. I've met some folks here with vision impairments. A construction sign, while they may think it's leaving enough room, a lot of those folks can walk right in to a construction sign before they would detect it. So I think there's more we can be doing there. While I know that puts an impact, but just building that culture around it, I would like to see more proactiveness if we can get there. And I know, Rudy, you sent a letter out. I was going to share that. Was that last year you sent a letter out? I was going to share it with Dormont.
Utilities,
Yeah. And just go from there. I also wanted to highlight that the state budget has still not passed, which, among many things impacting local municipalities, significantly impacts PRT in the mobility space. And with the lack of passage of state budget, Mount Lebanon is poised to lose all bus service, impacting the 36, the 41, and the 38M. There will also be a truncation of the red line at Castle Shannon with no transit service beyond 11 p.m. So there's significant current service impacts, but there's also will be a halt to the ongoing network redesign, where Mount Lebanon was poised to be the beneficiary of becoming a transit hub location, which meant several new bus routes were going to be put in place in Mount Lebanon, including a new direct connection to Oakland, as well as a new connection to Carnegie Station, where riders would have been able to board and transfer to an airport direct service. So pretty significant impacts for the community. If you are so inclined, I would reach out to legislators to push them to pass a budget that provides funding to PRT and beyond. One other upcoming event is Back to School Month, with school starting August 19th. Move Lebo is hosting a back to school sidewalk cleanup program where you pick a location, reach out to them. You can go to movelebo.org and go to the events page, and all the details will be there, but they want to track a lot of sidewalk cleanup and just make a big push ahead of school starting back up and make sure the paths are clear for our students and families accessing the schools. There was a question, and Rudy, this may be one you don't want to answer on the record, but if there is vegetation impacting the public right of way, and are people free to cut that back? would the municipality be free to cut that back, or what's the,
On something that's not their property,
right?
I'd be hesitant to that. I'd contact code enforcement. That's your best bet.
Okay. We can make that recommendation, but otherwise, they're just gonna be out there, cleaning up and making space and highlighting some things. I'm assuming they will share some areas of issue, and we will go from there. So that's all I have. I know we don't have the commissioner tonight, so I will move on to, Mr. Sukol.
Okay, so we did some additional improvements to a couple areas out in the community. Signs in a new crosswalk were installed on Scrubgrass, indicating the new crosswalk that we painted down at the lower section where the steps come out from Old Hickory. We also are waiting on delivery of the driver speed feedback signs. We ordered 4 of those. They should be here probably anytime now. As soon as we get them, we'll install them. Mike's gonna go down with our guys and post them, and we have 2 for each direction, as was on the display before, so we look forward to getting those in. Signs were also installed on Kelso at Pembroke, and the crosswalk was repainted, so that really brightened things up. We added, on the advice and guidance of the traffic engineers, we added newer actual crosswalk signs, the green ones, lime green ones, fluorescent green, and advanced warning as well. And we posted the area within that intersection where the cars were parking on a gravel no parking. So we prohibited or just reinforced the prohibitive parking in that area. All of our crews continue to paint, make good progress with lines and crossbars and crosswalks and stop bars throughout the community. Dry weather really helps. And all the APS units were installed and they're in operation along Washington Road. So all the intersections through the business district, as well as Cochran and Washington, are all in, functional and operational. I think, is it this week or next week, Mike?
It's Thursday.
Thursday, PennDOT will be out because that was partially or mostly funded with a GLG grant, Green Light Go. And so they're gonna come out to make sure everything's good before they sign off on it.
Great. I can tell you, I had some folks at a recent happy hour, were very excited about the APS. So that's a big win, so a lot of other good stuff.
I'll get one complaint about the beeping and then, that was it.
Dial it down.
A little bit, yeah.
A restaurant where they sit outside right there.
Outside dining, yeah, so.
Yeah, there's worse. I think the cars honking their horns are worse.
Well, and, you know,
It's background.
And the person I just saw drag race as I was walking in, yeah.
those devices actually, they adjust themselves to the ambient noise, so the louder it gets, the louder they get. They've been down at night too, so.
No, they're appreciated.
I have a question for Rudy.
Go ahead, Bob.
Rudy, when you mentioned the Kelso improvements, is that directly associated with Kathy was talking about, the last citizens comment
I mean,
last month?
I think part of the complaints were, the visibility of the crosswalk, so we added signage and we always repaint the crosswalks anyway if they're there, so that was done. But yeah, I mean, yes and no, we've been looking to do something there, but we're limited to what we can do as well. And on the guidance of the engineers, that's what we decided to do, to make some improvements.
Sounds like some actions based on citizens' comments that they should be happy with that, I would hope.
It's another state road, Bob. It's another state road, which the hands are tied, and I think the municipality's hoping, and this is me selfishly hoping through the active transportation plan and otherwise to really push PennDOT a little bit more. I think PennDOT's open to it, but there's a lack of funding across the board for transportation. So they're not exactly saying, yes, we'll do everything. So yeah, that all sounds good.
The no parking signs on Kelso, are those, do you know if those will actively be enforced, or will it be like the citizens will have to call if somebody parks? Like, is the police department aware those signs went up?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. And I mean, that's actually a no parking zone anyway, because it's within an intersection, so by state statute, you can't park within an intersection. But we reinforce that with the signage, so.
Okay.
And then, I haven't been out there, but they're kind of in the gravel, like.
Correct, yeah,
Like
they're,
where you would want your car to be.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, good, thanks.
So those were no parking signs, Rudy, but did you say other signs?
Yeah, the crosswalk signs, and the advanced crosswalk signs, so, you got a picture there, Mike?
It's just a rendering we
Yeah.
have on the.
It looks just like what we did, other than, I think Mike was gonna throw it up on the screen real quick.
I was going to.
Okay.
I'd like to report this one car parked on the sidewalk. Say,
It's just a rendering.
black Chevy Trax,
It's probably a while ago.
April 2025.
That was,
Oh, that's not
your
bad.
colleague's
No,
car.
I don't think, she parked in the gravel.
Did she?
Yeah, Jenny wouldn't do that to us.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah, so we have one of those in each direction. That's actually.
This
at the
was
crosswalk.
this was just a rendering that we took a street view of it, kind of showed where the placement would be. So the crosswalk's not shown here, but there's freshly painted piano key crosswalk, and there's also the same sign on the other side. And then on the approaches, so you can kind of see those just in black and white. And then on the approaches, there's that same pedestrian crossing with an ahead sign that's as you come down the hill and up the hill. This is visual stuff.
It's a start.
Yep.
And kind of what we could do, certainly. All right. Anything else, Rudy?
That's it.
All right, I'm gonna move to the subcommittee reports. Starting with capital budget.
Yeah, we did not have another meeting.
No, I guess we're due in August. So our next meeting will be in August. Our last one report out was in May, where we provided some recommendations to, for the 2026 capital budget.
Yeah, so what would be the, maybe we'd ask Andrew that, what would be the follow-up for that, for our recommendations, or is?
The budget is finished, the capital budget is, we're working on operating now.
Okay.
So I apologize, I can't remember the timing on that, I'm real happy
Usually
when I'm
by
done with it.
September,
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there, yeah,
Yeah.
it's released to the public and to the commission, for review. And it's the 5-year capital plan, so that comes out first, and then the operational budget comes out later. You can look online and see.
I haven't seen anything yet. It should be, I imagine.
It's getting
coming soon.
close, yeah, it's getting close.
Okay.
I just have a little party when I'm finished with it.
Erase it from your mind.
Okay, so do you think, maybe we should wait for that to come out before we have another meeting? Or-
Yeah, when do you expect,
I'd say in the next, it's the beginning of one of the months, so I think it might be
Okay.
September 1st, I think is
Alright,
when
so-
it's released to the public.
I would say then that's probably the best thing to wait until we see it and then we can meet. Okay.
All right, good, thanks.
All right, and then I will go to the policy and design, street design subcommittee.
Is that me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you go ahead, John.
We met yesterday. Attendance was light. It was just me and Seth. We had some no-shows. And also Aaron wasn't available. I believe he's out of town. So it was the first meeting we had in some time, at least that I took part in. I don't know the last time. But it's the first meeting of the merged subcommittee. And so Seth and I talked about various subjects and what we would like our priorities to be for the remainder of the year. And we talked about the review, the overnight parking policy, because we were just talking about, there was the resident at the last meeting that seemed to have some issues with that. I would say anecdotally online, I see a lot of people complaining about that and some of my neighbors. And as far, sometimes it just seems there's an inconsistent philosophy. And would there be, after our meeting, I tried to see if I could find the minutes for the last time the ordinance was updated in 2021. And, I tried to see if I could watch the recording on YouTube, but the YouTube videos don't go back that far. And I just wanted to watch a video or see a transcript of when that ordinance was passed and just get the reasoning behind why things are the way they are for the overnight parking ordinance. Is there, how could I?
I don't know the
do I
answer
need
to that, to
submit
be
it?
honest with you. Mick, do you know, or?
I'm not sure how far back the minutes go for the commission, because it would be the commission that would have to approve that. You might check with the manager secretary to see if she can,
You're looking for the video though of the meetings,
I'm hearing all the complaints about
think
the
the
overnight
videos
parking
ought to
ordinance.
go back
I know
3 years.
nothing about what are the pros? I'm
Yeah.
only hearing the cons, and I just see the law as written. So I
Yeah,
can
there were
only guess
several
as to the
discussions. I mean, I attended those meetings, whether it's discussion session leading up to the ordinance, adoption of the ordinance or the actual vote, but you're probably gonna get more from the discussion session than you would from the actual, they basically just talk about it a little bit at the meeting, the business meeting, and pass it if it's passed. And there's a lot more that goes into the discussion and in the discussion sessions.
but I think
So.
those only go back 3 years.
Okay.
So if it's anything before that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's
There's no
available
minutes
somehow
for
or not. I
discussion.
mean, you may be able to submit a right to know request. And that's the best way of doing it, to keep everything consistent. We get right to know requests for, documents, videos, things like that. So there's online, if you go onto the website, it'll tell you how to submit a right to know request.
Okay, thank
And
you.
the capital budget is out, not to interrupt you, John.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, August 1st, I was right.
I guess I didn't look that hard.
Yeah, so if
So
you
we
go
can-
online, you can pull it up online
Okay,
Okay.
and review it online.
thanks, Rudy.
Sure.
John, I just did this during this meeting, but we can talk about it after. We are gonna try to meet ahead of the next mobility board meeting, so tentatively scheduled for the 25th, and we'll send that out to the same group, and hopefully we can get a few more folks there.
I had a question on the parking in general and overnight for, as John was mentioning, the citizen from last month with that side street off of Church. But I recently noticed a sign on, I think it's called Tower Hill, which is off of
Tower Crest.
Lebanon Avenue,
Tower Crest.
right from the high school, yeah.
That's a private street.
So, and that clearly says no parking at all, private street, so
Except for the residents, they can park there overnight.
okay, so given that, I thought I heard from last month, the resident was saying they have to pay because they don't really have driveways.
It's a public street, though.
It's not a private street, right? That's the difference.
Okay, so the difference being a
Church.
private street they can park, the residents can, and they don't have to pay, or, I mean-
They actually own the street and fee up to the center line.
okay. so
They
that
pay to
can pay-
maintain that street, they pay to have it paved. All the maintenance comes back to, some of them have kind of like a group,
Homeowners association.
yeah, like an HOA kind of sort.
So they
yeah.
pay in some form
Yes,
perhaps,
out of their
but,
pocket, right, to
difference-
maintain that surface, right?
okay. I see. Yeah, I was trying to understand the difference between those two, because they're both sort of,
Yeah, and
no outlets and,
So basically, you're parking on private property if you park there, and the big issue is it's right next to the high school, so kids will park down there and park in front of people's property and tie it up all day, and it's
I
in
see.
front of their property, and they actually own that road out to the center line,
so
so.
they do, okay.
But as a counterexample, I live on a public street, one of the ones that does have a permit parking zone. So there are cars parked 24/7 on my street, which I'm thankful for, because otherwise it's a straight shot, like dead arrow straight, and cars would be going very fast if there wasn't a row of parked cars there. But so there are permit zones where you can park overnight in Mount Lebanon.
Yeah,
And they're only located in some places, and I know part of this ordinance that I'm not too familiar with yet, part of it is saying like how you apply for that, like how close, what's the nearest parking available to your home. There's all kinds of rules, and
Which I think Levine have qualified for all, that's why they have permit parking there. So I know we have it under old business.
oh,
but-
sorry,
but
yeah.
I was gonna touch on it just a little bit. Anything else, John?
Well, I know we also touched on parking minimums, which is on the agenda for tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
We can touch on it there.
we didn't get too deep into anything.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, I just had a couple items I put under old business, because there had been some questions based on, initially, the budget that was allotted to the mobility board, the 30K, 35K. We said, use it all on Kelso. I don't imagine those signs cost 35K. I think the thought was some of those other recommendations that came through, from one of the presentations, I don't know if that was shared with you or not, Mike, but we can reshare it. But if we could put any of those forward with that budget, I'll make sure we get those in your hand and just have them vetted at least internally. And maybe we can bring those back before the board as another thumbs up and roll that. I don't know was that operating budget or capital budget?
It was in operation.
Okay, so does that like use it or lose it?
Well, no, I mean,
Okay.
it still has to be approved by the manager
Yep.
and the commission, but, you know, it's there as a funding mechanism to have something to work with if something's there, so.
Okay. And so, yeah, maybe that actually helps with this process to say, hey, this is where this is going in 2020. Because I don't think, we probably aren't gonna get anything on the ground in 2025, but maybe we
Yeah.
can do something in 2026.
And yeah, we carry funds every year for things that aren't completed, you know, there's weather-related delays, contractors, things like that.
Yeah, I'll make sure to drop those in the folder if you haven't seen them yet, Mike.
For Kelso?
Just the other ones that came, that presentation that
Oh,
like Joel
right.
Beebe did, where we had some other areas to look into. And then I had Lavina on here just because I didn't attend. I tried to listen to it. I don't know that there's anything to move on now because it is a permitted street, so it sounded like they don't want to pay the permit.
Right.
But there wasn't enough space, like they wanted, I confess,
I think that,
I thought it was the cost.
yeah, they
but-
have no driveways, but those that park there have to pay.
Right.
And they were saying, like, the gentleman works as a social worker, or something, you know, I mean, so he just feels like the cost is a bit out of their budget. But I thought that was the main,
Yeah, I mean,
what he expressed.
I think it is a permitted street and you move to a place and you know it's a permitted street and there is a process. But I think that is something policy and street design is gonna look at a little bit and maybe make some recommendations to either adjust, amend, but we would bring that before the board, the full board to discuss and send that to commission. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, but that was my takeaway, was the cost was the main factor. I didn't know if there was, some of that signage was based on like hide and ride where people are walking to the tee, but I know there's a cut through that, but
Yeah, I mean.
park and ride's not full right now, so that would.
No, and that's how a lot of that was initiated, you know, the 1, 2, and 3 hour limited parking.
Yeah.
So some of those zones are created just because of that.
Yes. Okay. I was gonna add I neglected to have this in my chairperson's report, but I'll add it to the new business and just share it with the group. Regarding a combined Lebanon Mobility Board and Dormont Safe Mobility Commission. I'll just add it after the parking minimums under new business. And so for folks in the context there, there's a new development proposed at the corner of Washington Road and Bower Hill, where there's been a lot of discussion regarding parking minimums and their ability to achieve it. But there's also a process to do an alternative parking plan. Those don't come before our board, but I think the mobility aspect is there because they are well within PRT's walk shed for both it is actually covered by Dormont and Mount Lebanon Station's walk shed, the new development, so that was me just really talking about it. This is something that a lot of other areas are passing, the removal of parking minimums, because it drives up costs significantly and it drives up
For the developer?
Just costs for the community. They're actually widening Washington Road, I believe, to add more parking spots.
And sidewalk.
Well, there's sidewalk there, but
There are sidewalks there now, right,
But they're
correct.
basically extending what's happened in the business district of Washington Road and bumping into sidewalks there. Those will be public spots though, right?
Correct.
I believe. So,
Oh, so, okay, widening Washington Road at Bower Hill.
Yep.
Across from the church.
across from, Mecca and.
If you're coming from the city through Bower Hill, that, as soon as you get through Bower Hill, that curb lane has certain times of the day where you can't park in it. And it's 2 lanes.
Yeah, oh,
going.
right.
They're going to permanently create the parking lane outside of that, so there will always be 2 lanes
of
on
travel,
Washington Road.
right.
The parking
Now it
lane
gets pinched
will
down.
be all day.
What
It'll
happens
be
when we road
inside.
diet it? What happens when we road diet Washington
You got
Road?
room for the bike lane.
We talked about that.
I never make it, when I commute home by bicycle sometimes, I never make it rarely make it back to Mount Lebanon when it's officially illegal to park there.
It's not policed much.
I saw you a couple nights.
I have a couple times
weeks ago
yeah.
on your bike.
Huh?
I saw you on your bike
Yeah.
commuting home, yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to, I meant to share more materials about parking minimums, so I'll try to share in our folder that it does drive up the cost, yes, for the developer, but that cost is then bundled into the cost of the housing, which
I see,
impact, it just has
I
kind
thought
of
there was a state thing though.
parking minimums?
Yeah,
No, it's Mount Lebanon zoning and.
is it?
And so they are accepting RFPs. I think the deadline is coming up or already came up for the zoning and subdivision and land use. They put an RFP out to update the zoning code, so that'll be coming, and I hope to weigh in as a mobility board as part of that effort. The next item is, so Ian McMeans reached out, the active transportation plan kicked off earlier, well, we're in August now, last month in July with Tool Design and Paschik as a sub-consultant, but they are coming, the consultants are planning a 2-day blitz of meetings in Mount Lebanon and Dormont on August 28th and 29th. And they've requested the potential joint meeting between the Mount Lebanon Mobility Board and Dormont Safe Mobility Commission. The evening of Thursday, August 28th at 6 p.m. This is just less than a week ahead of our meeting following the Labor Day holiday. So Ian asked if the board would be interested, I know we don't have everyone here, but if the board would be interested in combining on Thursday evening, August 28th at 6 p.m. with Dormont for sort of a combined joint effort and then canceling the September 2nd meeting.
Ooh. Okay, let me,
That, I just want, he just emailed me today.
doodling. Okay.
And I wanted to discuss that with the board before we could do both. Certainly, I cannot attend on the 28th.
I'm available. Do we have a location yet, or?
I imagine it's gonna be here.
I think it's gonna be here,
We've got a bigger space than Dormont does.
And it'll either be in this room or the commission chambers.
Yeah, I can be here.
Okay.
I can be here as well.
I can make it work.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it requires a quorum. I think they just wanted to brief and work with the mobility board since we've been staffed up for over a year at this point. And yeah, I think that's the main focus of it. I'm not apt to cancel our other meeting because it is budget season. So I don't know what folks think about dedicating 2 evenings. It's already scheduled, because this is a kind of question logistics wise. Would we have to advertise because we're meeting?
I don't think so. This is not.
It's like a consultant workshop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost like an executive session.
That's my understanding, right?
We can make this one.
What is the objective of the joint meeting?
So it's the active transportation plan that is joint between Dormont and Mount Lebanon. So it's just getting both mobility focused boards and commissions together to kind of bounce ideas and have brief both at the same time rather than do. I mean, I think it benefits the consultants, but I think it benefits both boards as well.
Yeah, makes sense. I can do it if there's a virtual component available.
Okay.
I think as far as the second, we should just kind of wait till Rudy's email to say, I mean, unless Ian's really looking for an answer, but to say if we don't have a quorum, then that's my thought.
Yeah, I think he was just a suggestion from him. I'm not apt to cancel it because I think we consistently get public comments. I think just keeping this cadence, unless we don't have a quorum for that Tuesday,
Right.
I would wait to cancel that meeting.
Okay.
All right.
So one thing on that collaboration effort, and the transportation plan. Are there opportunities for like public involvement? How does that work? So
Yeah.
somebody with maybe a disability and getting
Um,
speaking, or
I don't
what
think,
is?
I don't think that workshop is, but they're gonna be here over multiple days, but that's a good question. I shared, I'm on the steering committee as well as Beth, I believe, is also on the steering committee, or stakeholder committee for this, so we're gonna be part of it.
Okay,
But I
yeah.
shared with Eric Milliron, is Eric the project manager on the municipality side?
Either him or Ian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shared with Eric a few contacts in the accessibility space.
Okay.
Because somebody, I think I listened to and you all talked about Tom Bergender
Yeah.
and
And
so,
Nancy,
yeah,
okay.
and Nancy, I think, was at our happy hour. and-
Yeah,
and she said, well, you have to contact me, for me to come, and I was like, yes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. She likes written correspondence or, you know.
well,
or-
and I certainly understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I shared contacts
Phone.
with Eric and pointed him in that direction, so.
Oh, okay, cool,
well,
yeah.
There's,
Because I talked to Nancy about it last night but I didn't know like to what capacity or what would be the commitment, you know. Okay,
for
cool.
that, it was only it was like 3 meetings across
Oh,
the whole project.
okay. Okay.
But yeah, I also pointed them, there's the Committee for Accessible Transit, which has a lot of folks kind of crossed over for all of this, so he should have that. I'll keep it on my radar if I don't see those
Okay.
folks, and maybe I'll find Nancy at happy hour.
Yeah, yeah, she's like, I know Seth, she mentioned you, yeah, so,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
All right, I know we had somebody come in a little late, did you want to make public comments?
Is it okay?
Yes,
Okay.
I don't think we have anything else left on the agenda.
Okay. I just wanted to, you guys were talking about Kelso, and I just wanted to say thank you. So I didn't come last month, I can't remember why I couldn't make it. And
Having too much fun.
yeah, it was
Or not enough
summertime.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And so I didn't watch the video, and so I was like a little nervous because I knew you guys were gonna report on it, and I was afraid that nothing was gonna happen, and I turned into my street on last Friday, and I saw the signs, and I saw the painted crosswalk the next day. I just wanna say thank you guys. I know you get a lot of frustrated residents that come through, and I just wanna say thank you for all your efforts. I know I appreciated everyone. You guys always were bringing up Kelso and trying to brainstorm for different ways to make it safer and advocating for us. And so and it's right before school too. So I feel a little bit better about the kids crossing and the neighborhood, just like the neighbors that walk their dogs. So, and I let 2 people across the other day. So people are using it, so. But I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate everything.
Yeah, appreciate your efforts.
Thanks for coming.
You don't have to see my face anymore. Take care, guys.
No, you're gonna join the board at some point.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I learned so much.
Go ahead, Rudy.
I wanted to add one other quick thing too that I forgot to put on my report. We did add the 2 ADA ramps on Catalpa at Earlswood. Actually, there's 4, but the 2 at Earlswood, we had someone come in and mention those at one of the previous meetings. So we're repaving that street, and when we do those, we do upgrade the intersections and the ADA accessibility at the corners. So those 2 were done plus additional.
Lauren, would you be on the soccer team together this year?
Cool student travel.
So, are they not there right now at
They
Catalpa?
weren't previously, no. They weren't compliant
Those
ADA
things with the
accessible.
little bumps, the crack root, I call them crack roots. So like the,
The detectable plates?
where you can go up on a curve.
Yeah,
And they probably can see you.
yeah, the little, right, they're called detectable plates, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. I knew it wasn't
Or,
crackers.
truncated domes,
DWS, Detectable Walking Service.
yeah. Truncated domes, there's a couple names, but they have the little bumps on them, you can feel them when you walk over them, yeah.
Yeah.
The little rubber mats, like,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So those were done, yeah, and they're compliant now.
All right. I don't have any other items unless other board members have new business to discuss.
This doesn't come under any kind of business other than informing the new guy. I went out to look for the video of last month's meeting, and I went on mountlebanon.org, and I didn't see much in the way of videos that were posted. I suspect I'm looking in the wrong place.
If you if you go to the main page, Bob, and go to multimedia, this is how I find it. So I go to the main page, I click on menu, I go to multimedia, and then on the right, there's a sidebar under related content called meeting videos. And that has all the board's videos. And you can find ours from previous months.
Okay, great, thanks.
We didn't have a meeting in July, right? We didn't have a quorum. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we
Oh,
did.
we did, just I was on
No, we
vacation. Okay.
You
I
were-
couldn't
yeah, I was on
make it.
vacation
Okay,
too.
I was
You
like,
might have to go,
You did.
you have to
Yeah,
click on the archive, Bob, to get to the older meetings.
Well, I was looking for July because I said I was going to get in touch with Kathy about Kelso because to me, there was a lot of meaningful discussion and she left and I sensed from her departure that she wasn't happy about things, but obviously some other residents are happy, so that's a good thing. So anyhow, I was going to get back in touch with her and point her to the video to at least be aware that there was meaningful discussion about it.
You can't please everyone, Bob, certainly, but I appreciate the sentiment, yeah, so. With that, our next meeting is scheduled for September 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right, motion passes.
You ready?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Bob.
So doesn't